And good Wednesday morning, South Louisiana. This is your Redeye weather update for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. What you're looking at here is uh, severe weather threats for today. Uh, Actually, it'll go into effect at 6 a.m. this morning and extend through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. We have a slight risk area covering the Houston area. Uh, Highest threat for tornadoes would be in that area, and damaging winds. Then a marginal risk in the dark green areas you see there, which would cover parts of extreme southwest Louisiana and extreme southeast Louisiana into southern Mississippi. And if you noticed yesterday in the segment I put out yesterday, I showed you where it was possible that this would probably get extended uh, because they had it showing just clipping this little area here, and I said it would probably extend somewhere over in here, and there it is. So um, it is what it is. I called it. That's it. So moving on. Uh, Two threats with this would be tornadoes and strong damaging winds from any of the heavier thunderstorms. Um, what I'll do is I'll take you in here and let's take a look at what the models are saying here. And a lot of you have asked, and I've caught some shade for it, uh, about this weekend possibility of some frozen precipitation. Now, I will get into that, but let's get to this first. So, let me go back here and take the map legend off of that. And let's get into around 10 a.m. ish this morning and see what we shall see. So, actually zoom out here and you get a better look. Actually, I want to p-type this and we'll see what it says. So we see thunderstorms beginning to develop mid-morning north of Houston. You got some there in east central Texas and up through Dallas and into the Arklatex region there. And we get further into the day, we'll go to 2 p.m. this afternoon and give this a moment to load up here. And you see it's just some light, very light rains here in southwest Louisiana, parts of Acadiana possible. Uh, but you do see that this little band of thunderstorms setting up here along the frontal boundary. Uh, Not in Louisiana yet, but we'll extend this forward to about 4 o'clock and we'll take a look. We're just going to take this a couple hours at a time, give you a better look. I don't want to waste time waiting for the animation loop to load up, so I'm just going to show you single frames with this. But it is 4 o'clock. You see it getting closer and scattered light showers around most of the state, or parts of the state still. Now let's go to 7 p.m. and see where this thing is at. So it's moved through the Houston area at that point, and we see some pretty intense thunderstorm activity there. Actually, let's back this up to 6 p.m. just out of curiosity because I skipped 6 p.m. Around 6 p.m., Houston's getting hit pretty good there with some strong thunderstorm activity, and embedded in that, uh, we could see some damaging winds. And you see these little rogue cells here, and some of this stuff coming up as it moves up towards the squall line there. That could spin up a tornado. Now let's get into let's go to 8 p.m. At this point, we've got a well-defined line of thunderstorms, and we got some isolated rogues out ahead of it. Not much, but embedded in this, as you can see, these little areas in here, these hot pinks embedded within that deep red. Uh, that's indicative of some intense thunderstorm activity. And just getting along the border here. Here's your border. And so this is going to turn out to be another nocturnal event. So we'll go to 9 o'clock. Now it's moved into the state. So at this point, we do see some strong thunder boomers coming in off the coast in West Cameron, along the Sabine uh, outlet there, uh, up through Orange, right along the border is the heaviest. And as far as timing goes, give an hour or two plus or minus either side of this time frame. This thing could speed up a little bit, or it could be a little bit slower in its progression than what the models are actually saying. So uh, we'll skip forward another hour and see where this is at. You see, what we've got here is we're starting to get this very large Boeing segment here. And I mentioned this yesterday, and I think if this starts to play out like I think it's going to do, then this thing could produce a gust front out ahead of it. And if that's the case, uh, we're going to see that on radar here, future radar. So let's go to 11 p.m. So at this point, it doesn't really look like a gust front's developing, but we do see uh, the line marching across the state, but you got some of this heavier activity building out ahead of it. So uh, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we might see something in here pop off a severe thunderstorm warning as the night progresses. Uh, Even though you're not in a risk, severe thunderstorms can still fire off if you get that correct situation to develop. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, despite not being in an official risk area as defined by the Storm Prediction Center. So that covers organized activity. These little rogue cells, they don't issue a risk area for that. So I'm not going to say without question that there's not going to be. Uh, so just be prepared. Have multiple ways to get warnings if they're issued during the night tonight. And we see this start to move through at midnight, going through Acadiana, and you see the northern segment and then the southern segment here, and it's kind of odd but we'll get into that in a second here. And we're going to go take a look now, another hour out at 1 a.m. So what we're seeing here is basically two pieces of energy of this thing. And uh, you've got this one line here and then this upper section here. So basically this thing is split, and this section, southern stream here, is pulling in energy from the Gulf, while this section here remains attached to the low that's up to the north, that's spinning up and ejecting. So, and the southern branch here would actually be feeding into this as well to keep it sustained. So, as this marches across the state, and we get into 2 a.m., roughly 24 hours from now, uh, you see this moving through Baton Rouge and down through Ascension Parish, Donaldsonville, Gonzales, Pierre Part, Amelia, Morgan City, Dulac, Houma, uh, all that good stuff. And then you've got this little secondary band getting ready to move through Point Capee. Actually, it is moving through Point Capee at that point, and moving through New Roads, Jarrow, Rougon, all those good areas there. And then we'll move through at 3 a.m. So and this is where things start to get a little interesting here, because that area is actually this section of the boot down here, which would include New Orleans, is under a marginal risk for some isolated severe thunderstorms. So some of this stuff here and this stuff down here, as it comes up and this moves across, uh, we could potentially see something pop off. So we'll go to 4 a.m. and you see most of the state is basically clear at this point as far as southwest Louisiana and Acadiana and Baton Rouge. You see the clearing line here on the back side of this. And still got Tangipahoa, Washington, St. Tammany, down through Orleans, Jefferson, uh, and then down here through Laplace Reserve, St. John the Baptist, and all that good stuff. Down here, Fouchon and Galliano, LaRose, Port Sulphur, Grand Isle. Uh, not going to say no, but there could be some warnings issued with some of this stuff as it moves through the area tomorrow morning. So we'll take a look at 5 a.m. and still got some activity. Some of this is still pretty intense. Embedded cells, and some of this down here uh, could pop off something that spins. So I'm not going to say the T word. We've already given the risk. So and any one of these is fully capable of producing strong to damaging winds. Um, so again, have multiple ways to get warnings if they're issued. If you hear it go off, get up, listen to it. If you're in an area that's prone, uh, go ahead and move to the bathroom or an interior hallway or door, closet or something, anywhere without windows that's basically secured, preferably on the east or northeast side of your home. So, uh, again, as we get close to daybreak, most of this is cleared out of the state. Um, and then at daybreak, around 7, uh, it's out of here. So, and again, give it an hour or two plus or minus, either side of this time frame, uh, as it could be a little slower or it could be a little faster as it moves across the state. So, again, bear that in mind. Um, this isn't 100%. It never is. So now what we do is uh, I'm going to direct your attention to something here, and uh, let's see, where are we at here? Uh, well, let's go to 138 hours out. Getting ready to show something to you here, and let's see. I'm going to get it set up because I'm going to show you something here in the web browser. It's courtesy of Pivotal Weather. I was going to post screenshots, and I said, nah, screw it. I'm just going to show the page on here. So what I'm going to show you now is the GFS. So let's take away that, and now you see what I see. So we slide it up a bit here. So looking ahead, Sunday night into Monday, uh, a timeline progression. This is one model. I'm going to show you about four models in total, and I think or four or five, and just going to give you an idea. So this is the GFS. You see total accumulated snowfall. That's 10-to-1 ratio, and now we're going to go to, whoop, wrong one. Let me bring it up here. I hate when it does that. So now let's take a look. This is the high-res Euro. Tell me what you see. Total accumulated snowfall, 10-to-1 ratio. Now, you do see a little bit of gray down here, that be dusting or some flurries. So, if it even sticks, or it could be just a rain-snow mix. There's really no way to tell at this point. Now, we're going to take a look at another model. Let's go to the Canadian. So this says something a little bit different as far as where. We know the when, Sunday night, Monday morning. So the gist of what's transpiring here is the models are onto something. And here's the UK model, UK Met. So same time frame, just giving you total accumulated snowfall. So gist of what I'm trying to just tell you is that the models have locked on to something. Don't know exactly where and what kind of intensity. You see that basically they're all spread out. Some northern part of the state, some the central, some the southern. some little to none. So, and we're starting to see run-to-run consistency. Uh, Not all of the time. You may see it a couple of runs in a row, and then the next run, you know, doesn't shows nothing or very little. So, and that's typically the case when dealing with snowfall down here. Um, Something that's always been an issue, and we went through this with the Snowmageddon, as I call it, in 2017, December 8, 2017. I started talking about it about 3 or 4 days out, and things were I caught a lot of shade for that, but I stuck to my guns, and I'm not gonna ignore. You can't really ignore this, and so you look at the NAM. NAM only goes out 84 hours, so really can't get a good look, and the NAM 3 kilometer only goes out 60. So, uh, we can look at the Canadian ensemble, and we'll go back to that time frame, and you can see, that there's some light gray shading here, and then a little bit darker grays to get into Texas here. So, you know, the models have locked on to something is going to happen as far as a winter precipitation event. What intensity and who gets what and where, that's the main question marks at this point. And we know the time frame, it's just where and how much, what kind of intensity. So, as we move forward, the models are going to start to get a better handle on things, and we see how this begins to play out. And probably Friday night uh, or Friday afternoon, I should be within range of future radar on a NAM on Weather Studio, the software that I use, and we can start to take a little bit better look uh, at this developing possible winter event. Now, could all of these models be wrong? Possibly, but I think not. I think they're onto something, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Uh, for those of you who want it, hey, I'm right there with you. My old crippled self, I'll be out there tossing snowballs. It may be at the cows next door or the neighbor's kid, something, but we're going to get out in it. So, and when I moved to Virginia after the flood, I actually, I had a snowball I had saved from back in, I think, 2009 when we got snow in Baton Rouge, and I put it in a Ziploc bag, marked it with a Sharpie, and the date, and uh, all that good stuff. And I saved that damn thing up until the point where I moved out of Baton Rouge to Denham Springs a couple months before the 2016 flood. And so I didn't get to do that with the 28 event, but I'm going to do it this time. If we get anything measurable where I can make a snowball, yeah, I'm going to do the traditional saving of the snowball. So, uh, got a Ziploc ready for it, and hopefully I'll find enough room in the freezer to put it. So, and we got 2 deep freezers out on the porch next door too. So, as long as I keep the kid out of it and he don't go eat the damn thing or toss it at me one day, we're all good. So I'll be able to save another one. But that's just something, tradition, and brings back some memories. So, anyways, with that, uh, there you have it. We'll see what next Sunday night brings, and as far as today, well, tonight rather, we know what's coming. I've showed that to you, and I'll be here through most of the night. Uh, I don't know if I'm going to make it all night and then to tomorrow morning or not. I'll probably be good until about 3 or 4 a.m. and that's when the Sandman will hit. So, you know, until that point, I'll be monitoring radar and I'll be posting any warnings that get issued by the National Weather Service uh, over in either section of Lake Charles or Slidell. So, um, you know, as far as Slidell National Weather Service, look, you know, there's past issues with those guys. Hey, you know, let bygones be bygones. And you know, Chris put them on blast. You know, hey, and I get on his account. You know, when I need to, so I can post stuff, and I'll tag my name in it as Joe. That's how you know the difference between me and him. But that said, you know, got no ill will, no ill feelings against those folks over there, and I do my thing, they do theirs, and you know, I still compliment folks in Lake Charles. Some of the best I've ever seen, and you know, that's all I have to say about that. So, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I'm gonna finish watching Top Gun. Uh, while I wait patiently for Top Gun 2 to come out this summer. So, kind of getting in the mood for it. So, with that said, I'm going to call it. And just remember something is coming this weekend. Who, where, how much is the big questions, but we do know when. So, with that, good morning to everybody. Have a great day. And I'll be on duty tonight covering potential severe weather ops. But that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, Here on YouTube, hit that thumbs up like button, subscribe, and share. On Facebook, hit that like or that love emoji and share it. If you trust my my work, you enjoy it, you find it informative, hit one of those donate buttons there. Any amount helps. It helps me offset some of the out of pocket expenses I incur each month. So that said, have a good day. We'll talk to you again later. Thanks for watching.